Hello everyone! In this episode, we'll be reviewing Wake Up Dead Man, A Knives Out Mystery, Avatar Fire and Ash, The Housemaid, and the SpongeBob movie Search for SquarePants.
And for the second half, we'll be talking about our festive flick and did we know about that Christmas movie?
Sully's Never Quit.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
And welcome to a new episode of The A-List Admission. I'm Ricardo.
I'm Cheyenne.
And this podcast is just about casual viewings of new movies to let you know what to watch at the theater. We try to make it non-specific about, or non-technical.
Spoiler, yeah.
That too. Non-technical, like we're not about the cinematography or about lighting or about anything like that. It's just solely, did we like the movie? Did we not like the movie? And trying to save you some monies about what movie we thought was good. I don't know. Yeah. One of the movies we're talking about today is not in theaters, I don't think anymore, but
it was in for very, very brief, so we ended up watching it on Netflix.
yeah.
It was primarily prioritized to be released on Netflix anyway. So.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Do you want to go into our personal news?
Sure. First off, we're both kind of sick.
Yeah.
So last week I had cream all over my face and stuff from one cold sore. It ended up making another cold sore, so now I have two on my face. Thankfully, that's how I know I'm sick, is when I get them. It's mainly just a head cold. I feel pretty good otherwise, but Ricky, I think, caught my end of it.
Yeah, I want to say Tuesday this past week, I got now it's traveled more into my throat. It's not terrible, but it's still in my nose and in my throat.
Yeah. But I mean, otherwise, Christmas is coming. If you celebrate, we have Christmas coming.
Yeah, this podcast will release Tuesday, and then Christmas is Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Merry Christmas to everyone who celebrates.
Yeah, happy holidays.
Yeah, we'll say Happy New Year on the next one because we'll release one podcast before New Year's hit. So
yeah, and that one will have more of our favorite movies of December, and we do want to focus a lot on the favorite movies of 2025 as a whole.
Yeah, we'll either do that the last episode of the year or the first episode of the new year.
I feel like we'll do it in the first episode of the new year.
Yeah.
It makes more sense because then everything's done.
Yeah, but also because there's still movies that we haven't, so next week for Christmas, I think there's 4 movies that come out.
Yeah.
So if we don't, because next week is also Christmas for us, if we don't end up watching all the movies around Christmas, we'll watch it by the end of the new year and then intro it. We'll do those 2 movies and then just talk about all the best movies in the first episode of the new year. But yeah, cool. And I'll try to get that Superman episode out because I'll have extra time to edit. And post that before the end of this year, and then that way next year we won't have a missed episode. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Do you want to go straight into our movie, TV news, whatever?
Sure. You want to go first? Doesn't matter to me.
Sure. You give me the sad one, eh?
Sorry.
Okay.
Well, I figured I'd put the sad one first for the other ones.
I mean, yeah, it's a pretty big one, especially because we reviewed one of his big movies this year.
Yeah.
Rob Reiner passed away. He died on December 14th.
And his wife, too.
Yeah, yes. And obviously it was very sad among the movie industry and everyone who's celebrated the fantastic work that he's done in film. I know he's on the older side, but it's still so sad to see him go so soon. Yeah, we talked about, we watched Spinal Tap this year, and then we watched Spinal Tap 2 this year. I saw him in The Bear this year.
I've seen a bunch of his movies. I mean, he's from All in the Family too, I
don't know. There's just so many movies that we can list. I know Princess Bride is one of his big movies as well, and
so many good movies.
Dude, it's
gone too soon. Him and his wife under horrible circumstances.
I think that's the part that it hurts the most, is that it's under such terrible circumstances.
That's why it's so publicized. Because sure, anyone could die at an older age. To natural causes, to cancer, to whatever, but not whatever, but you know what I mean. And this is not that. And it's just very, very sad.
Yeah, terribly sad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, you want to go to the next one?
Sure. So yeah, rest in peace to Rob, and I believe it's Michelle.
Yes.
So rest in peace. Okay, so now to switch it a little bit lighter, back to a Warner Brothers news bit, but they have officially rejected Paramount's $108 billion hostile takeover bid against Netflix to own Warner Brothers. So they urged shareholders as well to reject the hostile takeover, which is insane. They say the offer actually carries a lot of financial uncertainty and has a lot of execution risks. It also lacks reliable funding and doesn't really have the long-term stability that Warner Brothers would want in a deal. So they're backing the deal with Netflix, and they're saying it's more strategically aligned and actually more secure because it provides like a stronger growth, it provides clearer value, and overall better outcomes for like creators, for watchers, for customers as a whole. So shareholders still have to kind of decide which side to support fully, but Warner Brothers really wants Netflix. This specific version of this story was from Inside History on Instagram, but it's publicized everywhere, honestly.
Yeah, so I know the last couple weeks we've been urging the Netflix deal not to go through. We've also learned a lot through the Paramount side of things and how many pockets are in that deal if that deal went through, and I'm very reluctantly saying that they made the right choice. Like, I think out of both, we've learned how much Paramount has political ties and foreign ties to other outlets that want the news side of the Paramount thing, and that was a bad decision if they had went through on the Paramount deal. But also the other way to look at it,
they both owe so much money in breakup fees.
Yeah.
If so, too.
The other thing I wanted to mention about this deal was specifically one thing that drove me nuts about the $108 billion deal that Paramount made was the decision to cancel the Stephen Colbert talk show was for financial reasons.
Who said this?
Paramount. So Paramount canceled the Colbert show. I can't remember exactly.
I didn't know Paramount owned it.
Yeah, they own it.
Okay, it was on TV, no?
It was on TV, but they remember they owned some of their news stuff, right?
Okay.
So Paramount owns I want to say it's NBC. No.
No.
ABC? I don't remember.
Maybe ABC because Comcast owns NBC.
I can't remember.
Or Universal.
I can't remember what TV source they have it on, but they own it's not called the Colbert Report. It's
not? It used to be.
I don't remember what it's called.
Okay, his old show was the Colbert Report.
All right, I just looked up all the information. So, it's the late night with Stephen Colbert, who took over for David Letterman. It was on CBS, and Paramount owned CBS, and so they canceled the late night with Stephen Colbert because of financial reasons. Then this shit happens, where they put $108 billion into trying to obtain Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Why not revive the late night show?
I would say he is smart to not go back to go back to CBS. Like, if someone else, another channel offered him the deal, I would take it. Because he flat out got fired, like, point blank.
Yeah, but it would never be the late night show. You know what I mean?
But he could have his own show again.
He could, but
he did.
I don't.
It won so many Emmys, his original show.
Yep. I don't know. I don't think he'll do it because it's not the late night show. Or this might be his reason now to just retire. I don't know.
Yeah.
He did ask the question though. It's like, oh, why not? Why not put the money into the late night show?
Yeah.
He asked that.
Plus, the late night's been running for years.
Yeah,
so.
but people he was told that the late night community and show makes no money.
It doesn't.
No, it doesn't. Sure, but like it's political satire, right? It's giving another outlet to people who are consumed in the idea of either Fox News or CNN, and not a news outlet, but it's a comedy show.
Is it the same style of show that David Letterman had?
Yeah, David Letterman.
Okay, so it's not just political.
No,
they have celebrities. They do interviews.
But I mean, when you look it up, it comes up as political satire. That's why I mentioned it that way. But like, it's the same thing with Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel, and they all do their talk show as like with comedians, but they also do have a lot of political satire in it.
Mm-hmm.
The only one I would say that is strictly political satire, the only two what I would say is The Daily Show with
That's the one that's won a lot of Emmys with Jon Stewart. Yeah, go
Jon
ahead.
Stewart and Noah. Oh my
Trevor
God.
Noah, go
Thank you.
ahead.
And then the other John Oliver. He also does a lot of political satire.
Is it Late Night Tonight or something?
I don't know.
Anyway,
But
okay.
yeah, that
So
that
where
is
were
the
you
whole
getting
thing.
it?
That this $108 billion deal that Paramount was going to shoot at Warner Brothers, they could fund at least $10 billion of that dollars
Yeah.
into the
Oh,
late
for
night.
sure. Well, now they can because they got denied
Mhm.
so far. But yeah.
Anyway, do you want to mention this one? Cool. So, on Screen Thrills where we found this news, but Sony Pictures is set to acquire the Peanuts franchise in a deal of $457 million. Sony Pictures Entertainment and Sony Music Entertainment, Japan will acquire WildBrain's 41% of the Peanuts holdings, giving Sony an 80% ownership of the iconic brand. And the Schultz family, actually Cheyenne told me this last night too, will always retain 20% of that contract as money for them to keep the money coming in for that family, right? The deal values at the stake of Canadian $630 million and is pending regulatory approval. Peanuts Worldwide will continue managing the brand, with Sony leading its global strategy. Now, Sony has been on a roll with its animation department, and everyone can see that, right? With K-pop Demon Hunters and the Spider-Verse franchise. But this makes it interesting as now they can play with that animation style with the Peanuts stuff, right? So what do you think? Is this a good move, bad move?
I don't care. I like Peanuts, but like, meh. As long as we still get Peanuts, I don't give a shit who does it.
I think for me, the animation department that Sony's been doing recently with their movies makes me more excited for Peanuts.
I'll give you that. Sony's animation has been really, really popping recently. No pun intended to pop K-pop Demon Hunters, but yeah. I mean, I wasn't a fan of the movie when they did Peanuts because you got to see the red-haired girl, and I'm a little
That's
bitter.
the only reason why Shane doesn't like it.
100%.
No, but I
I'm
think
a little
it's a
bitter
great
about
movie.
that. Great movie. I'm a little bitter about that. I mean, at one point, you do see and hear the dad talk in the old cartoons, but I did find out that it's
There's
when a child truly wants to listen or truly hears a person is when you see them or hear them, like the parents, or if there's something important to say.
Yeah, we actually
or an important memory. So like
it was November we found this out.
It was tied to the original cartoon scene where Charlie Brown finds Snoopy, and Snoopy's integral to his life. So his dad talks about the whole essence of getting the dog and what have you, but you actually understand the dad. It's not
it's the store owner.
Oh, the store owner.
The pet owner, sorry. But yeah, you get to hear the pet owner explain how much the dog is and how much he's willing to hand out Snoopy to Charlie Brown for, and you like basically see half his face, and then you hear him fully talk in perfect form.
Yeah, not the gibberish they do.
Yeah, but it shows. Yeah, so
it shows like a core memory that's an important piece of Charlie's life is Snoopy.
Yeah.
So
whereas every other adult that talks that is just the trumpet noise or the trombone noise, is because kids just tune out that noise and they don't really focus. And so it's when I found that out, I thought that was amazingly smart. I never thought of it that way.
Also, I still don't get that he's a beagle, but that's a separate thing.
I mean, black and white, yeah, fair. But I don't know. Oh, dude, I think we were watching that scene recently.
Baby Snoopy is the cutest
it makes
freaking
me cry.
thing.
It's so cute.
But yeah. So then, okay, essentially, Netflix will own Warner Brothers, Sony will own Peanuts, and that's it.
And Rob Reiner passed away.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go into our first four movies. Do you want to start with the first one, or you want me to go for?
You can do the first one.
Cool. We'll introduce them all first, but
sure.
The first one is Wake Up Dead Man: A Knives Out Mystery.
Avatar: Fire and Ash.
The Housemaid.
And the SpongeBob movie Search for SquarePants.
Perfect. So, Wake Up Dead Man: A Knives Out Mystery. The director was Ryan Johnson. It is Ryan Johnson. You're right. The director is Ryan Johnson. Rating PG-13 for violent content, bloody images, strong language, and some crude sexual material, and smoking. Which I don't. Is smoking considered PG-13?
Yes.
That's weird to me. But whatever.
Whatever.
Runtime is 144 minutes. 2 hours, 24 minutes. And the main cast is Daniel Craig, Josh O'Connor, Glenn Close, Josh Brolin, Mila Kunis, Jeremy Renner, Kerry Washington, Andrew Scott, Kaylee Spaney, Daryl McCormack, and Thomas Hayden Church. The spoiler-free synopsis is, in the third standalone installment of the Knives Out mystery series, famed detective Benoit Blanc returns to solve a baffling case when a Monsignor is found dead under seemingly impossible circumstances in a small-town church. I apologize. Blanc teams up with an earnest young priest and an ensemble of intriguing suspects, each with secrets of their own, to unravel twists, motives, and hidden truths in a classic whodunit that blends sharp humor, drama, and mysteries. So, what do you think of Wake Up Dead Man?
So, to make it known, unfortunately, I'm not the biggest fan of this series. I find it actually a little boring, just based off other murder mysteries I've watched. I actually kind of like this. I like anything that revolves around a church or religious stuff, especially with horror, like religious horror and stuff. So, murder mystery set in a church. Okay, I'm down. The cast is phenomenal, as always with these movies. That's the one thing I'll give it, is that's the thing we talked about. When there's such a good cast, the movie flatlines. For me, it kind of did still flatline. But I don't blame the cast. Ricky has a man crush on this series. For me, I'm not as big of a fan. I'm a fan of the actors aside from this, though. So, again, do not discredit the acting. The acting was phenomenal, especially Glenn Close. I'm such a huge fan of hers. She does great. Yeah, didn't hate it, didn't love it. I'm kind of but I liked this out of the 3 so far.
4 so far?
4.
There's 4 movies. Oh, you mean sorry, Knives Out. My bad. Sorry.
Yeah. What do you mean?
I thought you meant the 4 movies that we watched this week.
No.
Yeah, sorry, that's my bad.
That's it.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so I'm gonna preface something. Cheyenne liked the first one, and then we rewatched it, and then she liked it less.
Yeah.
So
the first one I liked, but not enough.
I will say that the first one's the best one, hands down. The first Knives Out is the best one. I think the shock factor in it is way better.
The shock factor always will be less the second time you watch it. That's not why I liked it less.
No, I'm just saying the first one out of the series is the best.
Oh, okay.
Hands down. There's no debate. It's the first one's the best. This one to me is second, and then the second one is third. Now, this movie in particular, Cheyenne is 100% right. Everyone acted their ass off. I think they all did a phenomenal job. I think that this movie is in parts slow. Very there's a lot of parts of this movie that is slow.
It's a 2.5 hour movie too.
I won't sugar.
So many of these damn movies this week were way too fucking long.
Yeah, you can't say that when your favorite one. You're the one.
My favorite one. Yeah, the one I was most excited for was still too long. Like it always is too long.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, I think this movie is slow in some parts and kind of convoluted in the ways it didn't need to be convoluted in other parts. I still enjoyed it. I think I had a good time with it. I think it was. I like mystery movies, whether it's like this or like the Orient Express series or
Murder in the Orient Express.
Yeah, I really like this. I know Cheyenne will always have a harder time with the series because of Clue. She idolizes Clue more. I think that this movie is a beautifully done whodunit series.
Oh, I don't think it's Clue. Clue. I know the ending. Always know the ending. But I still love it. But it's I don't know. It's not as entertaining. These ones.
See, I disagree because I think Clue is just older, right?
Clue is older and funnier. That's why.
The comedy in it I think is better in Clue. Yes, 100%. I won't argue that. But I feel like this movie is just I think Knives Out as a series is a good whodunit series. And I like that the second one tries to throw you off as an audience by making the murder happen in the middle, right? Because you get checked out and then it happens, right? This movie, it happens fairly early in the movie, but I like how it goes, right? And I like how it happens. I think it makes sense. I really like how this story travels. The only thing I wish it happened more was that it involved Daniel Craig more. Because I find that when Blanc comes in, you almost forget it's a Knives Out movie until Blanc comes in. That is my only critique of this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what did you think of this movie? What is your rating for this movie?
5.
Yeah.
It's just mid.
I'm going to give it a 6.
Okay.
Because I think, is it the best that the whole franchise? No, I would say like 2 gives me like a 4.5, 5 vibes. But yeah, this one I would say is on the better part of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next, Avatar: Fire and Ash, director James Cameron, rated PG-13 for intense sequences of action and violence as well as thematic elements, and it is 3 hours and 15 minutes. The main cast, and there's a lot, include Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, Sigourney Weaver, Stephen Lang, Una Chaplin, Cliff Curtis, Edie Falco, David Thewlis, Jermaine Clement, Giovanni Ribisi, Kate Winslet, Britton Dalton, Bailey Bass, and Trinity Bliss. And as much as there is a huge cast, they are all actually the main cast. So
Actually, yeah, like 100%.
And the spoiler-free synopsis is that the Sully family continues their life on Pandora in the aftermath of tragic loss. As tensions rise across the planet, a fierce new group known as the Ash People emerges, challenging the delicate balance between clans and forcing the inhabitants of Pandora to confront deeper conflicts and personal grief. The story blends intense action and sweeping visuals with emotional stakes as familiar heroes face evolving threats that put both their bonds and the future of Pandora at risk. So what did you think of Avatar: Fire and Ash?
This is the most beautiful movie I think I've ever seen in my life.
This particular one?
Yes.
Or the series?
No.
Because The Way of Water is gorgeous.
I think this one has better graphics than the last two. 1,000%. The beginning of this is what I've been telling people at work too. This movie, to me, the first like 5 minutes, I was like, this is like a video game sequence that was rendered smoothly and in 4K quality.
Well, considering I own Frontiers of Pandora, the video game, and it's so immersive, but it's like I'm just watching the movie.
Yeah, but like this is like the beginning of that movie was so smooth and fluid, and we also were watching it in 3D because I think that it's made for 3D. But like, it was so fluid how they flew across the screen and how it was so sharp.
So we also, disclaimer, watched it in a higher frame rate. So there was 2 versions of IMAX. There was regular IMAX, and there was IMAX and HFR, which is high frame rate. So that's why
it was so smooth.
It was so smooth and crisp and clear. Is the high frame rate?
It was gorgeous.
Yeah, I highly recommend first seeing it in IMAX, but 2, if you can get it in HFR, it will say it on the thing. See it in high frame rate because it is otherworldly, literally otherworldly.
It was
how
so
clear it is.
Fucking smooth.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have not seen a movie that did CGI to that extent be that smooth and crystal clear.
And as we said before, he did not use any AI anything. So it's real life and then CGI and then blending the two beautifully. And then his 3D is a different way of doing 3D, which is beautiful too.
And like the last movie as well, Way of Water, the water sequence, the way the water moves and how it gets captured is so fluid. It literally feels like you brought a camera to Pandora and just filmed things. Like it doesn't feel like it's CGI. It's that clear.
Yeah.
Now, for the story primarily, it gets repetitive. I think this being the third now where the way that it culminates is very similar to the rest of the movies. And yeah, I don't, it doesn't surprise me how it ends, and it doesn't surprise me how it goes. And I would say the Ash people are very interesting, and I love, cause it's Una Chaplin.
Una.
Right? Una Chaplin.
I say Una because there's 2 O's.
It's an odd name. I've never heard of Una or Anna or
like Uma.
Yeah.
Una. Like.
But she does a phenomenal job playing. What's her name?
Is it Varang?
Varang, yes. Brilliant. I think the way that the Varang captures insanity through a different. It's just it's well
And
done, very well done.
Were you gonna mention about her?
What? Oh no, I'll let you do it if you want.
Oh, so her family name is legendary because it's either her great grandfather
I think it's her
or
great-grandfather.
is Charlie Chaplin, who essentially made the entertainment industry a lot of what it is today.
100%.
So she has a lot of weight on her shoulders, having such a strong and well-known family name, and she did such a phenomenal job. I've never heard of her in anything else.
She killed it.
She did so good.
Yeah. So like, if you're looking solely at story for this movie, it kind of goes the way you should expect it based on the last two movies. I don't think it changes that far. I think, minus some grief, like I think it's very much the same, and yeah, like it doesn't end the way I wasn't expecting.
No.
You go.
I'm just biased. I always like them, but like it is very repetitive, and I kind of, part of me didn't want it to be, but part of me expected that it was going to be kind of repetitive with some of the story, and it was. But I love the actors. I love the young cast. The one who plays Spider, the one who plays Kiri, obviously Sigourney Weaver, but the water people girl that Loak loves.
Oh, Bailey Bass is who
yes, and then Tuck being Trinity Bliss, like they're all so good. Yeah, I have no complaints. The cast is awesome, and I'm obsessed with Spider though.
Yeah.
What do you give it?
It's gonna get a 7.5 for me.
So I was actually teetering on that or an 8. I'm gonna stick with an 8.
I was also teetering on this with an 8. I'm gonna say 7.5.
Okay, because I'm going off of the other two later that we're gonna mention. I'm gonna stick with an 8 for this one.
The other two are gonna get less than this, but like, okay, so it probably truly deserves an 8. I can't get past with how much it's predictable.
Yeah,
because like big action sequences. It's just predictable. I don't want to. I'm trying my best not to just start saying what happened, but like it's you know what's gonna happen. It's just it's inevitable. It's always gonna be the way it ends, and how it ends is not surprising. Yeah. I'll admit there was maybe one or two twists in there that I wasn't kind of expecting, but yeah, it's a 3 hours of an ending of a movie. I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And James Cameron did say if it's not gonna make the amount that he's thinking, he might just end it here and now. But I did see another thing yesterday saying that Avatar 5 will come out in 2031. There's already a set date, so I don't know.
Well, I also know you were telling me that he wants to do something different as well. Like he doesn't.
He says, he doesn't want to be tied to Avatar forever, but it's a big part of his life too.
Well, he's also 71.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I actually thought he was a little older. Like he doesn't look it either way, but. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, he's 71, and I don't blame him for wanting to do something different.
Yeah.
Not by any means. All right. So the next movie we watched was The Housemaid. Director was Paul Feig. The rating was R, very much so, for the strong, bloody violence, sexual content, nudity, language, and more. The runtime is 2 hours and 11 minutes, and your main cast, a lot shorter than the last one, is Sydney Sweeney, Amanda Seyfried, Brandon Sklenar, Michelle Morone, Elizabeth Perkins.
Elizabeth Perkins is the mom.
You know what I thought you were going to do? I'm going to keep this part in. You know what I thought you were going to do was Ann Perkins from Parks and Rec. I don't know why.
That's so funny. I forgot that was a thing. Parks and Rec fans unite. No, I was saying Elizabeth Perkins is the mom.
Yeah, 100%.
The mother Winchester in this, but I knew her from something, and I know she's Wilma Flintstone in the Flintstones movie from the 90s.
Funny. I don't know why I thought you were gonna go Ann Perkins. Fucking what's his name?
Rob Lowe?
Yeah. Spoiler-free synopsis is as follows. Based on the best-selling novel by Frida McFadden, The Housemaid follows a woman with a troubled past who takes a live-in housemaid job with a wealthy couple. What seems like an opportunity for a fresh start soon unravels as she discovers unsettling secrets and power plays within the household, leading to an escalating tension, manipulation, and psychological suspense as the true nature of the family's world come to light. Now, what did you think of The Housemaid?
I was actually better than I thought. I went in thinking it was going to be like mid-movie. I enjoyed it, actually. It took way too freaking long. This is such a long movie for no reason for me.
Yeah, because how long was the movie again?
2 hours, 11 minutes.
Yeah, I could have cut that down for sure.
Yeah, 2 hours, 11 minutes.
I don't know if an hour 45.
But see, that's the thing. I don't know where they could cut it, but it felt too long. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't know. Because
I don't know. I really don't know where they could cut it.
No, but this movie is good. Let's start with there. The movie is really good. I think the acting is really good. I think that the story is actually way more twisty and turny than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to go. Excuse me. I thought it was going to go one way in particular, and it just keeps turning. Now, is it, as you watch the movie, kind of predictable where it ends up going? Yeah, but like,
there's a couple things in it that I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. It was entertaining. 100% entertaining. I thought it was way, way better than I thought it was going to be. Kind of like Cheyenne. I kind of thought this was going to be more. It introduces itself kind of like a horror in trailers, but it comes off to me more as like not a rom-com, like a romantic drama that goes wrong kind of thing. But it does not go that way in the actual movie. It is very much a thriller in a fun way. Yeah, I really liked it. I thought Amanda Seyfried did a phenomenal job. I think she does the best acting in that movie, hands down.
Oh, she's phenomenal anyway. I love her.
Yeah, but man, she goes in.
Yeah.
And we even saw her earlier this year in another movie. Now it's escaping me, but I feel like this was way better.
No, we didn't see Seven Veils.
We didn't see Seven
Veils.
Oh, that's exactly the movie I was thinking of. That's the play one. Yeah.
She's great.
This does phenomenal. I think this is way better than that movie. I enjoyed this movie way more than that.
I think the first movie I really saw her and I'm like, wow, she's good, is Chloe. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's Liam Neeson, Julianne Moore, and Amanda Seyfried. Very good movie. The acting was good. She did a great job. And then Brandon Sklenar, we saw him in Drop earlier this year, and I know Ricky loved that movie.
Yeah.
Not as much for me, but his acting is kind of felt the same.
I like him as an actor. I think he's really
he's cool.
I was very dismissive. No, I actually thought he really did a really good job. I really do like him as an actor. I'm excited to see more that he's in, especially because if this is the types of movies he's choosing, then it makes me excited to see him more.
Yeah. Okay, then Sydney Sweeney. So she's an okay actress. She's good in Christie, but everything else just feels okay for me. I don't get the hype, other than physically. That's literally the main hype.
I think apart from being the Hollywood bombshell look, I think there's some nuances to her acting. I think that there is.
I would love to know.
I don't know. Like in this, I like I think in some of the things that we've seen her act in, mind you, this could be just writing and not necessarily her acting, but it's very much the I don't give a shit kind of acting idea. Like even with Christy, when we saw Christy earlier this year, was very much the idea the tough, the tomboy acting kind of idea, right? Where in a couple scenes where she cuts in, it's very much not she doesn't play the pretty girl. She plays very much the hidden tom girl kind of act. You know what I mean? But I don't know how much of that is just because it's written that way and how much she acts that way. You know what I mean? Or it's written because of how she acts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but I feel like that kind of because not every actress can play that well, right? I can't see it. Even Amanda Seyfried's character in this. I now can only really see Amanda Seyfried do this. Very well, right? If the roles were switched, I don't know how well this movie succeeds.
No, that's a good point.
Right?
I don't think it would.
Right? I couldn't see Sydney Sweeney play Amanda Seyfried's character literally at all.
Oh, not at all.
But I also couldn't see Amanda Seyfried's play. She would do a better job at playing this role, but it doesn't land as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. That's kind of how I'm thinking about it. It is part acting, but it's very much casting choice. That it doesn't work the other way.
No, it doesn't. But I mean, they could. Sydney's character is easily replaceable. That's what I'm saying. You could get another actress to do it.
Not well.
this wasn't well either. Like,
this is a like there is other women for sure that could have played Sydney Sweeney's role.
Yes.
100%. I'm not arguing that, but I do think that it does take a Sydney Sweeney type of actor to pull that off, right? Like
a no emotion type person.
Not no emotion, because she does play with a lot of emotion in this.
Oh,
It's just I'm trying to think of another actress that would do this really, really well.
Elle Fanning.
I disagree.
Great. You always do.
That is also not true. I don't always disagree with you.
Okay. Who else?
I know. I'm trying to find one.
Okay.
I'm struggling to find one. Here, we'll do our ratings and I'll think of it.
Okay, 6.
I don't know.
It actually got lower the more we talked about it.
No, I really enjoyed this. I think this is going to be closer to like a 6.5, 7 to me.
So which one?
I think that Avatar to me is way better. So I'm going to say 6.5.
Okay. Fair enough.
Actress that would have played that role better.
We will come back to that at the end. See if you can figure out.
I'm also trying to think of like a household name that would do really well in that. Elle Fanning to me would not.
Halle Bailey?
I haven't seen her act enough to know. I that's no shade to her.
Zendaya.
I did originally think of Zendaya.
That's
but
too well known, I think.
No, I think it's because it plays off the Euphoria thing too much. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. They both were in Euphoria.
Oh.
Sydney Sweeney and
I've never watched it, and I don't care to.
I haven't watched it. I've looked up the cast before because I was like, who's in it? And then I found both of them in it.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I'll think
while
about
he
it.
thinks of that, I'm going to get to the last review, which is the SpongeBob movie, Search for SquarePants. The director is Derek Dryman. It's rated PG for rude humor, action, and some scary images. The runtime, okay, it's technically 3 different times that I found online. One says an hour 28. We went to Cineplex. I believe it said an hour 30. This is saying an hour 36. So generally averages an hour 30 minutes, so 90 minutes. The main cast, I'm sorry if I say any of these names incorrectly, but it is Tom Kenny, Clancy Brown, Roger Bumpus, Bill Fagerbach, Carolyn Lawrence, Mr. Lawrence, George Lopez, Isis Gaston or Ice Spice, Arturo Castro, Sherry Cola, Regina Hall, and Mark Hamill. All right, the spoiler-free synopsis is that SpongeBob SquarePants sets off on a wild undersea adventure to prove his courage. After believing he's finally brave enough to ride a big roller coaster, he inadvertently summons the legendary ghost pirate, the Flying Dutchman, and ends up on a quest into the underworld with his loyal best friend. Along the way, they must face a series of surreal challenges and prove their bravery both to themselves and to their friends back in Bikini Bottom. So, what did you think of the SpongeBob movie Search for SquarePants?
And it kind of, to my expectation, this movie laid out pretty well. I had no hope for this movie, and it did not do well.
He fell asleep.
Yeah, because it was boring.
Not for all of it. I didn't think it was boring. I love SpongeBob, always.
Okay, so I probably fell asleep for like 10 minutes of this movie. But let me just say that.
It's like a third of the movie. Because it's so short, it's a joke.
So I like SpongeBob. I lost a love for it when SpongeBob as a character has changed so much now that I don't like SpongeBob as much. Now, that being said, the movies I really enjoy. The old movies I really, really enjoy. This movie to me was so boring. I couldn't get into it. Also, the 3D threw me off way too much to enjoy.
Oh, yeah. The animation I'm not a huge fan of because I don't like the early SpongeBob, but that middle in the 2000s range, like 2004 or 5, that animation was key, and it was my favorite. And I still love SpongeBob regardless. But
to me, I keep referencing this movie with the SpongeBob movie, the first one we saw. With
you remember the one
Goofy Goober and all
oh my gosh stuff. That one's amazing. And then the one with Johnny Depp even.
Yes, yeah. That to me has every element of SpongeBob to me that is perfect. Like I don't like it was really funny. It was kind of crass a little bit, but it was way more like in your face slapstick funny. This to me felt so dated. Like it felt like it was trying way too hard to be a SpongeBob thing, and it lost the essence of SpongeBob.
I think they want to be on the line of SpongeBob Never Dies because it's been around forever, but they also have to realize that if it needs to be put to bed, put it to bed. And I do think, unfortunately, SpongeBob has outlived now the generation that, like, I just don't think they need to make these anymore. As much as it pains me to say that.
I should have given up SpongeBob 10 years ago.
They honestly should have given it up
10 years ago.
even like pre-COVID for sure, but
I think by 2015 this series had died.
I don't know, actually. I don't remember.
I
was still watching it.
My professional opinion, I graduated high school in 2015. It should have died. Like, not because of me graduating high school, but like, I mean specifically knowing when the level of SpongeBob, like the level that has changed in SpongeBob so drastically from 2015 to now. I know they changed it to fit the children audience that has like for example the Gen Z audience that has grown into form in that level. It sucks. It has changed so much from what SpongeBob is, from a like kind of kooky character to just a dumbass, and then they changed Patrick to like kind of ditzy to like flat moron, like he doesn't think for himself kind of dumbass. It changes the character completely. I don't know. They went to their ultimate extremes, which with every character, that it's lost the nuance of each character. To me, it's just like they've just become our archetypes, and like it's fully changed what SpongeBob is and what it stood for. And like I don't know if you ever knew this, but way back when it was in its prime, apparently they did a study that it was actually making kids dumber to watch it. I believe that, but like,
yeah.
I don't know.
So I don't think it's doing what you said.
But I feel like it's making kids even stupider now. Like if it was making kids dumb before, there's no way this.
They have enough cartoons that make them dumb now, so this just adds to it.
Sure, but like I feel like this makes them even dumber. Like there's no way that this makes kids just as dumb as it did before.
So one of my tattoos is some jellyfish because I love jellyfish, but I also do love SpongeBob. So I tied it and made SpongeBob jellyfish with the SpongeBob like clouds, which are flowers, and I still get kids that see it and they're like, "Oh, SpongeBob!" and like they know it, they enjoy it. But I think they enjoy it from the idea of what SpongeBob was.
100%.
So I'm gonna give this a 4.
Yeah, before was good.
Yeah, because I don't want to go any lower because there are worse movies than this.
100%.
But it definitely should not go higher.
I think there were some jokes that definitely made me laugh. I think the beginning was like
my favorite. Yeah, one of my favorites was near the beginning, but
it sucked. The movie's not good. Like there was no realm to me that this was ever gonna pass a 4.5. Like it was just to me. I think depending on how the execution would have been, the animation took me completely out of it because it's not the animation of SpongeBob by any means. 2, it's also not a SpongeBob-y movie at all to me by any means.
It's a Flying Dutchman movie.
100%. It's way more the Flying Dutchman movie than it is a SpongeBob movie. And then 3, it was just like, as the movie went on, I'm like, okay, this is definitely not a positive review, but how low is it going to go?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I thought of one actress that could play Sweeney's Margaret Qualley.
What was the word you were trying to say? Perfectly?
I'm
Margaret
really
Qualley, 1,000% I agree with that.
Could have killed it.
I could have slayed that role.
Very
1,000%. That's a good one.
Yeah. But that's the thing. I was trying to find an actress that doesn't just replace Sydney Sweeney to replace Sydney Sweeney. Who would elevate that role? And I think Margaret Qualley would
just slightly enough to make it better. Definitely. That's
because,
a good answer.
Because of the nuance of how that movie ends.
No, that's
it would have been
beautiful.
Brilliant.
That's a beautiful answer. Or Mia Goth, maybe?
No, Mia Goth has gone way too far the other way for me.
That's true. Okay, then we're getting too far over. So, out of the 4 movies, I recommend seeing Avatar: Fire and Ash.
I completely agree. Go ahead.
I had no I think you go.
You went
I know, so and then you go. It turned me off.
No, I completely agree. I think Avatar the oh my gosh, I'm just the way water. Avatar Fire and Ash is the best out of the 4. That being said, if you want to watch a movie that is like different, that isn't also a 3-hour plus movie, I do actually recommend The Housemaid.
I do too. When it first started, I'm like, this is very repetitive. And then not to say that it's not. There's a lot of movies very similar to it, but I actually really liked it. I really, really liked it overall. But I don't think if Amanda Seyfried wasn't in it, I don't think I would have liked it as much because of her acting is so supreme.
The other part of that I'm going to throw in is that I do think Brandon Sklenar.
I keep
saying Sklenar. Anyway, Sklenar I think he does a really good job as the husband in this, and I don't want to take anything away from his acting because he does add a lot to this.
Yeah, no, the other moms and stuff, like they all have their bits. They're like, okay, they're good. They're all very good. But yeah, all right.
Yeah.
So second half is all about our festive flick. Last week we did Elf, so this week we are gonna do How the Grinch Stole Christmas, obviously by Dr. Seuss, but it came out in 2000, so 25 years ago this year.
I think this was a good pick.
Yeah. Because it's loud, chaotic, and unapologetically extra. And that's honestly why a lot of people either love it or hate it, especially because Jim Carrey's in it. He gives obviously a full body, no holds barred type performance that literally makes the Grinch a walking cartoon. There's obviously the over the top world of Whoville, but he adds some dark humor to it for sure. A lot of critics did find it mean spirited and bloated in a sense. Yeah, I know. Audiences embrace it as a weird but unforgettable holiday experience. Obviously, it's not as cozy as Elf, but it's like a maximalist Christmas movie fueled by Jim Carrey. It's definitely earned my place in the holiday rotation every Christmas Eve, for good reason. The director is Ron Howard. It's rated PG, and it's 104 minutes. The main cast include Jim Carrey, Taylor Momsen, Jeffrey Tambor, Christine Baranski, Bill Irwin, Molly Shannon, Clint Howard, and Sir Anthony Hopkins.
And the spoiler-free synopsis is: a bitter and misunderstood creature living above the cheerful town of Whoville plans to ruin Christmas for everyone by stealing their decorations, gifts, and food. When a kind-hearted child shows him unexpected compassion, the Grinch is forced to confront his past and question what Christmas really means. This live-action adaptation of Dr. Seuss's classic story leans heavily into visual spectacle and Jim Carrey's manic physical comedy, creating a loud, eccentric take on a familiar holiday tale.
I mean, we can ask each other what we thought, but we already know we like it. Plus,
I don't know. I still want to talk about it. I'm super excited to talk about this movie. Sir Anthony's narration to this is
so he's the narrator. He's not like physically in it. He's audibly in it. The cast again is great. Taylor Momsen is very well known for her band The Pretty Reckless now, so she's made it really well in her rock career. And then the rest obviously have made it well known otherwise.
I want to bring up a TikTok I saw earlier this week because it made me laugh when I heard it. So there was a dad, and dad was talking to his kid. His kid is like 13 now, and the mom was like, "Oh, I wonder what Cindy Lou Who looks like now." And they pulled up a photo of Taylor Momsen, and the teen goes, "Oh, she's just sexy now." And the parents were like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, she's just sexy now." And they both were like, "Well, he didn't like say it like he was embarrassed, like it wasn't like a 13 going through puberty. It was so matter of fact that it just threw them both off."
Oh, like that's funny.
But it kind of is oddly true. Like it's almost like
she's a little too thin.
She is super thin. I'm not gonna argue that.
But it could be anything. I'm not saying.
But I think it does kind of just look like Cindy Lou just got more adult,
more emo
and adult. Like it's just weird. It's just interesting.
Sure.
But I think there is not a single person on this list I would ever think of changing.
Well, you can't change Clint Howard.
You can change Clint Howard.
Well, you can if it's a different director, because Ron Howard always has his brother.
Yes, I understand that, but I also think like Christine Baranski is perfect as
Martha May Whovier.
The names are gonna throw me off.
Not me.
Jeffrey Tambor's perfect.
Mayor Mayhew.
No, but Jeffrey Tambor is actually perfect.
Oh, they're beautiful, absolutely gorgeous acting. I think it's perfect. Literally wouldn't change a thing. Like literally could not change a thing.
I would say both Christmas movies we also picked are like insanely quotable.
And it's also but that's true. But it's also really funny. Molly Shannon's in two very well-known Christmas movies.
What's she in the first one?
The Santa Claus.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot.
She's the ugly Christmas sweater woman.
Yep. So good.
Like all really, really good. And I love Dr. Seuss. Anything Dr. Seuss. The Grinch is still a tattoo I want to expand on, I want to get done. I'm really trying to think of something niche, because that's a big thing for me with pop culture tattoos. I like to make it as niche as I can, to an extent.
Yeah.
So,
so good though.
There's so many good things about it, and I'm so excited to watch it. I mean, this is a movie I would watch in the summertime too. It's just, I don't know. There's so many things that are so good about it, but so humanizing and so sarcastic. Like Jim Carrey does such a good job as not even close to the cartoon Grinch, but
with
such
myself. I can't cancel
that
again.
5:30 Jazzercise. Like,
you're an idiot.
And now, if you do have TikTok, then you would have
good.
definitely seen that at Universal Studios there you can meet the Grinch, and the people who play the Grinch are definitely trying to play the Jim Carrey version of the Grinch.
100%.
So like, what is up, my guy, is a big thing on TikTok if you search it. So on my algorithm, I love looking at the Grinch meet and greets. So that's the first thing that pops up now for me, and I love watching it in full length.
Yeah, whoever plays, there's
multiple, yeah.
But there's even a guy that does his Grinch in full Spanish that I've seen, and he is so good at it in full Spanish. It's so funny. But also, like, the commitment to bits where, like, he's eating just raw onions with the skin on, and like the screaming, the yelling, the
my favorite is the or one of my favorites, so many, like the one where he's like, he doesn't know about us, like, I don't know if you've seen it. Like, there's a girl talking to him, and she's like, "Who's this?" Like, "Oh, it's my boyfriend." He's like, and the Grinch goes like, "He doesn't know about us." Like, "Hey, it's cool, dude. We're cool. Like, it's chill." Or like the other one with
There's so many though.
No, I know. There's one in my head that I'm like, oh yeah, it's when a guy proposes to his girlfriend. The Grinch just screams, like, blood curdling scream. It's so funny.
Oh man.
And I know the Dr. Seuss family wasn't a huge fan of this movie.
Understandably, it's not.
More so with the Cat in the Hat. I understand why they decided never to do live action again.
We should talk about the Cat in the Hat one day. But anyway,
please, yes, I have that tattoo. So
anyway, but like, I think this whole movie doesn't succeed without Jim Carrey.
Mm-hmm.
And like, the torture Jim Carrey went through for this role, I am so sorry that he went through that much torture for this role. But
which we'll get into.
But holy shit, is he perfect as the Grinch. There's no way this movie does even remotely close to as good as a job as it does without him. Like, even the obviously the super classic one is iconic because of it being just the book read out loud, essentially. And then the new one with Benedict Cumberbatch is good, but it takes the Grinch to a way more lighthearted version of this.
Yeah.
This one is such a millennials version of the Grinch that is just so perfect. So perfect. Yeah,
I agree. No, I agree.
We'll talk into the discussion part of it. So.
Sure. So the overall critical consensus was that obviously critics were mixed and more on the negative side when it was released. Obviously people praised Jim Carrey in this, but a lot of critics felt the tone, the length, and the visual excess overshadowed the simplicity and charm of Dr. Seuss's original story, which I can understand, but also 100%. They tried to make it new.
What critics did love, though, was Jim Carrey's performance. Like Cheyenne said, it was nearly unanimous praise. Critics agree that Carrey's physical comedy, facial expressions, and commitment carried the movie. Many said that he was the perfect Grinch.
Another big thing was production design and makeup. So the Whoville sets, the costumes and makeup were often called imaginative, detailed, and visually impressive, even by critics who disliked the movie as a whole, which I agree. The Whoville sets and everything is fantastic. Perfect. Like, even the noses. Like, oh.
The noses, the costuming, everything was perfect. And then the last thing that they critics did like about the movie was that it was a faithful visual translation of the Dr. Seuss story. They appreciated how the film closely matched his illustrations and look and tone of the book. But like, that's kind of what we were saying about the sets and everything. Like, me and Cheyenne love how Whoville looks, how the trees look, how Mount Crumpet looks, how all of it just feels so truthful to the Dr. Seuss franchise.
Yeah. A common critic complaint, which I don't agree with, is the overlong runtime, because they were saying they were stretching a short children's book into a feature-length film, which had like some pacing issues and filler scenes. I don't agree with that, because so many books like this are made into movies, like Cat in the Hat, point blank. But it wasn't that, like, it's a longer movie, sure, but not by much.
Yeah. The other thing that they were negative against was the tone. that felt mean-spirited. Some critics felt that the humor skewed way too cynical and crude, losing the warmth of the original story, which I completely disagree.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely more mean-spirited than the Grinches in the original story, but that plus the overlong runtime runs into so much niche shit that you find about the Grinch, but also about the improv that it took to fill in scenes that make the movie so well loved.
And finally, too much noise, not enough heart. So a lot of reviewers actually said the film felt very visually overwhelming, chaotic, and loud, making it more on the exhausting side rather than magical.
But how ironic is it that the critics thought it had too less heart?
Yeah.
Well, not enough heart.
True.
To the Grinch. I think it's perfect.
Review scores. What do you want to go ahead?
Sure. The Rotten Tomatoes was about 50 to 55% on the critic score, higher audience score, obviously. Metacritic was the low to mid 40s, and the general critic rating was mixed, which we've said.
Critics may not have embraced it, but The Grinch has aged into a nostalgia-fueled holiday staple, especially for audiences like us who grew up with Jim Carrey's version. Well, grew up, I guess. Yeah, I was 6, so yeah. It's a classic case of critic skepticism versus audience affection. Messy, loud, and arguably too much, but unforgettable.
Yeah, I was 3 when this movie came out.
Yes, you wouldn't have seen it then, I don't
Not
think.
when it came out, no, but I grew up with it. Yeah. All right, and we'll go into our Did We Know How This Grinch Stole Christmas version, the whole bit. Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
I can do it.
Go.
Jim Carrey spent up to 8 hours a day in makeup, and the process was so uncomfortable that he reportedly received CIA training on how to endure torture-like conditions. Did we know?
Yes.
Yes, we did. It's still crazy, though, that is a thing.
I feel so bad for him.
I realized, too, that there's going to be a fact that's not listed on here that I know, so I'm going to do it after.
Sure. The Grinch suit weighed over 60 pounds, contributing to Carrey's physical exhaustion during filming. Did we know?
No? I knew it was heavy. I didn't know it was 60 pounds.
I didn't know it was 60 pounds.
No, that's a lot.
Too much.
Ron Howard initially turned down the movie, unsure how to expand a short book into a feature-length film. Did we know?
No, I didn't know that he
No, I don't think I knew that either.
But he was perfect to direct this.
Yeah.
100%. Dr. Seuss's widow, Audrey Geisel? I knew I was going to say that wrong. Audrey Geisel personally approved Jim Carrey for the role. Did we know?
No.
No, I didn't know
That's
that
really
either.
cool. Okay, that's really cool. I'm surprised, actually. But Whoville was built almost entirely as practical sets with very little CGI compared to modern films. Did we know?
No.
Yes.
But it makes it perfect. I think this is...
I mean, you can tell.
Well, I knew there was very, very little CGI in the movie.
The main thing would be like the Mount Crumpet.
I mean, it makes sense. I should have thought this through more, but it makes sense. It's just so perfect.
Yeah.
Many jokes were improvised by Jim Carrey, especially the physical comedy bits. Did we know?
Yes.
It's Jim Carrey. This was going to happen no matter what.
There's a lot of trivia with this movie, but this is just scratching the surface.
Bite-sized.
At the time of the release, this film was the highest grossing Christmas movie ever. Did we know? No.
Who took over for this? I have no idea.
Maybe the Santa Claus?
I was
No. Santa Claus 2, maybe? Because Santa Claus came up before this.
I was wondering if Polar Express ever took the lead at one point, but
that would have been 4 years later, so I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway.
The soundtrack features Faith Hill's "Where Are You Christmas," which became a holiday staple. Did we know?
Yes.
Yes.
It's also in the credits, too.
Yes. See, but I can't attribute this to anybody but Taylor Momsen.
Cindy Lou Who's version.
Yeah.
Anyway, the fact I was going to add was the Grinch, his eyes, he wore contacts to make his eyes green, yellow, what have you. But they hurt him so much that the latter half of the movie is CGI'd yellow contacts. Did we know?
Yes, I did know this one.
But yeah, so in other words, the contacts hurt him so much that they ended up just coloring in his eyes to match.
I couldn't imagine how crazy that would have felt on his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway. Okay, cool. Do you want to wrap up today?
Sure. Thanks for watching, listening, commenting, and subscribing. If you'd like to follow us along on other stuff, we have all the social medias. We have Twitter /X, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Threads, Letterboxd, TikTok. I want to say that's it. we have Spotify, anywhere you get your podcasts, so Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, etc. We have on Spotify and YouTube, we have audio and video versions that you can watch and listen to. And then for short form content, we have Reels and Shorts on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. We also update our Letterboxd diary with all our movies for the year. So that's going to be our basis of how we find out what all we watched this year. To give you our year-end review in January. And also, these are just our opinions. So we appreciate you listening and leaving comments, whether they're negative or positive. It gets the conversation moving, and that's exactly what we want. And if you disagree, that's okay. That's we disagree with each other all the time. I think like 5 times in this episode we did. So
Cheyenne said I always disagree with her, and that's not true. But
there's another one.
It's also not true.
Yeah. So honestly, we just really enjoy doing this podcast, and we're hoping big things to come for the new year. Hard to believe that next episode that we film will be the last episode of the year.
It'll be almost a full year of us recording, because this is episode 51.
Yeah.
So there's 52 weeks in a year, right?
Yeah. So next one will be a full year of doing this podcast. And through all the ups and downs and good and bad, I wouldn't have changed a thing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I would have changed maybe the beginning when we had like shitty cameras and like stuff.
We're gonna talk through some of the plans for next year and stuff in the next episode. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and
we'll see you at the movies.
See you there. Bye.
Bye.